Hey, happy Saturday. How's everyone doing? Welcome to the stream. Man, so much activity here in, in the intro. Thank you so much. So close to Hype Train. Thank you so much. Thanks for the follows and bits and the subs and continued subs. I'll get to those here in a second. So, man, how's everyone doing? I feel like it's been a while. I don't know. I was here last week and I released some stuff on YouTube, but for some reason I feel like it's been a while. Maybe because I just had a super... Oh, there it goes. There's Hype Train. Thank you so much. I'll definitely call him out here in a second. But yeah, I feel like it's been a while. I was saying, like, and maybe it's because I was up super late and just, I don't know. Just feels like a while. So how's everyone doing? If you're new to the stream, welcome. Thank you so much for coming. I appreciate you being here. If you've never been here before, it's a little bit different, kind of an open topic where we talk about all things tech, either things we're working on, things we're struggling with, or things we want to have solved, or things we just want to share that we're happy about or frustrated about or whatever. We try to limit it to tech though. Sorry, I'm it's an itch. It was a scratch. I'm not picking. But yeah, so and if you've been here before, I see lots of familiar names. Thank you so much for coming back. Yeah, feel free to share what you're working on too. I'd love to know. Like I say, like most of the things that I end up working on end up being from inspiration from all of you. So I would love to know what you're working on. It's I get lots of ideas. So anyways, yeah, so speaking of working on stuff, I've been pretty busy, and I think I've proved my point once again about UniFi being polarizing. I get it. People, you choose your team for your network, you choose your team for your processors, you choose your teams for your video card. Yeah, so why wouldn't you choose your team for your network? Whatever, switches, firewalls, whatever you use in networking. But anyways, that's what I've been working on. So many people have asked over a period of time if I could please release a video about UniFi networking and firewall and security. And I thought, hey, yeah, why not? It's been, like I said, in my backlog for a while. And I thought it was the perfect time to do it because I just redid a ton of my VLANs last week. So it was all kind of top of mind. So I figured now's the best opportunity to do it. And yeah, so that's out there. even if you hate UniFi, like you might learn something. I don't know. I was like, whoa, when I released that, I was like, I looked at the thumbs down count and I was like, oh my gosh, like this is like a new all-time channel thumbs down high for me, or low percentage, which is totally fine. That's what it's there for. Absolutely use it. That is a great signal to me and to YouTube and to everyone else. That I'm not on track or that I'm off track, I guess I should say. But yeah, the thumbs down on the product because you don't like the product. I was like, ooh, but no, totally get it, totally fair. That's what it's there for, absolutely. And so yeah, so anyways, that's what I've been working on. I released that. Hopefully, it helps some people. I know I've a friend at work. He hasn't set up his VLANs yet, and so I've been bugging him for probably 3-4 months, asking about VLANs. And I asked him Thursday, hey, when are you going to set up VLANs? He said, as soon as you release a video on it. He said that a few times. And I said, well, I know what you're doing this weekend because I'm releasing a video on it. Anyways, so all that aside, let's get into chat. Let's talk about stuff. Let's talk about tech. I know if you hate UniFi, absolutely throw it in there. I don't care. I mean, we're not gonna bash them. I mean, I just don't want this just to be like the player haters ball. We're all just hate on stuff because I don't know. I don't enjoy. I don't know. I'd rather talk about positive things. But if you're struggling with something, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. I just don't want to pile on. Anyways, let's get past that. I usually start with weather. It's feeling more like spring here in Minnesota. It's mid-30s. It's sunny. The 1.5 feet of snow we got last week is slowly melting. I know that's not the case for everyone. If you're out in if you're out in the Northeast, it's coming today, tomorrow. If you're out in the Northwest, it already went through like 15 times. If you're South or Midwest or just the belt of the U.S., you've been getting pounded with storms. It's wild. So I hope you're safe and I hope everything's okay. Hope you have power and yeah, hope you're safe. So anyways, I don't want to dwell too much on Minnesota weather being pretty nice, but it's pretty nice. So anyways, okay, so let's answer a few things. First things first. Thank you so much for another sub. I'm definitely gonna call those out. I usually call them out just in time. But I just wanted to get through that really quick. So let's call them out. There's lots of events going on. We're still on the hype train level 2. All right, let's go. Okay, so how do I want to do this? I'm gonna start from the bottom and I'll go work my way up. And you guys have no idea what I'm talking about, but I have a list of events. Oh, and they kind of match what's up there. So maybe you do know what I'm talking about. So anyways, yeah, show me this. Yeah, I got emojis and all kinds of stuff. Go crazy. Yeah, sorry, Twitch pop-ups while I'm streaming. It's I don't know. It's kind of distracting. Anyways, let's see. I'm gonna start here. Prisco Pellegrino. Hey, thanks for the follow. Appreciate it. Arc1. Thanks for the follow. Psycho Sasquatch. Thanks for the follow. Appreciate it. Welcome, y'all. Alpha Computer 1776. How's it going? Is resub tier 1, 11 months, 11 month streak. Woohoo. Let's go. All right. So almost 1 year. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. It's continued support. Man. Love it. Love it. Thank you so much. Alpha Computer followed up with bits. Dude, thank you. 200 bits. Thank you so much. You got to see my Mega Man. I saw it. That was right before I started. USR Dev sub tier 1. Thank you so much. Thanks, User Dev. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thanks for subscribing at tier 1. General Ryan resub tier 1, 28 months. Ooh, 2 years, 4 months. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Crack Kitty, how's it going, man? Good to see you. Resub Prime 17 months. LOL 1 month streak cause I can't remember to resub. I know that's how it goes for Prime. It's like you gotta totally fine. I get it. Like it happens to me too. Like I almost have to put a calendar invite to remind myself to resub to people because my Prime is it is what it is. It's because Amazon doesn't want to pay out and they force you to go back to do it. But I totally get it. I totally get it why they do it. But anyways, don't worry about streaks. I don't care. You're here now. That's all that matters. Thanks, Craig Kitty. I appreciate it, man. Thank you. Where are we? Isophis. Oh no, I skipped it. I'm going back. Ilude resub tier 1, 30 months, 30 month streak. Dude, thank you so much, Ilude. Ilude does so much for the community already, as far as their Discord community, as far as here on Twitch, and the open source community contributing all of his scripts and everything. I still use your dark mode script. I love it. Every time I update my Proxmox server and I see like, hey, no updates to PvE dark mode, I'm like, oh yeah, that's Ilude's script running. So anyways, thanks, man. Appreciate it. Let's see. And now I think we're on CBN Sandwich. Hey, resub, tier 1, 9 months, 9 months straight. Thank you. Hey, yo, let's go. Isophis, thanks for the follow. Appreciate it. Takano, resub, Prime, 28 months. What's going on, Takano? I haven't seen you in a while. I hope you're doing good. 28 months. Thank you so much for the continued support. Stopping by real quick. Hope you're doing good. I am doing good. Doing pretty good. Trevor, what's up, man? Resub, tier 1, 16 months, 11 month streak. Hey, Tim, got my new servers in service. Lost power, and now my ZFS pool on TrueNAS server is screwy. Oh, sounds like a fun time. Actually, that does not sound like fun. So I assume when you lost power, you might have lost or corrupted data too, which really stinks. It does stink for sure. I've had that happen to me before, not with ZFS. I've been pretty fortunate. I mean, I pulled the power plug on ZFS quite a few times. And it didn't happen to me. I maybe I got lucky, but I have had it happen to me on UniFi, the Mongo database in there. It just does not like to be, does not like to be stopped when it's trying to write or read. But I've had it happen. Databases is the one that always gets me. So I guess I'd probably have it I'm glad it's happening to me this way because databases usually I have backups and I can recover fairly quick. ZFS, that's a different story. If it's my whole entire ZFS pool, I'd just be like, woo. But I have accidentally pulled the power on some of my servers while pulling it out, and so on and so forth. But man, thank you so much for the continued support. Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. Yeah. So let's get into chat. Let's see what you guys are working on. Let me do one thing. Again, if you have something you want to share, throw it in chat. I'm going to start from the top down. And we'll work our way through it. Oh, roughly, I didn't tell you guys, to those who haven't been here before, usually run roughly an hour. So, about 50 minutes from now, we'll be done. Well, I would say, well, if we're still talking, we can extend it, but I can't this time. I do have a hard stop. I'm going to treat this like a meeting. I do kind of have a hard stop because my wife and I are going out to eat with friends and we have to get ready and all of that. And we're going out pretty early because all of our friends have kids, and they have bedtime. So yeah. So anyways, I'll be stopping roughly in about 40 minutes or so. I started a little late, so I'm going to continue on a little bit late. But let's get into chat. Let's see what you guys are working on and what you have to share. One sec. Okay, so let's get into chat and let's see what you guys are working on. All right, I'm going to scroll to the top. First, usually people want to know who's first. I know who was here first because I was in chat testing. And iLude was here first. Basically, it's always DNS. It's always DNS. That's the first one I saw. You can, if I'm wrong, call me out. But then quickly after that, Yocto was there. Yocto responded. iLude just a guess, but I'm thinking it might have been DNS for sure, for sure. Okay, let's get into here. Yocto says, which sadly doesn't stand for distributed nacho service. Yeah, I wish it did. I wish it did. I mean, maybe it does. I mean, yeah, I told him, if you build it, they will come. And he said, no, I want scalable nacho service. We were just going on this nacho thing for a while as I was testing and everything. Because I said I wanted NAS, nachos as a service, right? And then iLude says, it's just a fancy way of saying high availability nachos, isn't it? Yeah, it is. Totally. Oh, man, this joke keeps going. Hans, high availability nacho service. All right. And iLude said he wants the 5 nines of nacho availability. I do too, for sure. Oh, Xavius, how's it going? Yocto, have any A400s? Yocto says, Xavius, of course, I'm offended you'd even ask. Yeah, he's got A400s coming out his ears. Let's see. FX editor. Hey, how's it going? Good afternoon, Tim. Hey, good to see you. Sorry, I promise it's a scratch. Like something's going on with my nose. I think my mustache hairs are pointing in random places and itching me in places they shouldn't be. It's kind of weird, I know. Hey, Retro DBA. Oh no, I got to say this one right. How did I say that? Oh man, how did I pronounce? Now I can't pronounce your name wrong. Retrod. I get. Oh no, they're Troba. All right, there we go. All right, because see now he fixed it. So anyways, Retro DBA is subscribed Prime 3 months straight. Thanks, dude. Appreciate it, man. I saw you out on the Fediverse a little while ago. How's it going? Let's try this again. Like SaaS sushi as a service. Hey, I would do that. That's actually what we're going to eat tonight. So tonight I am gonna have sushi as a service. Just gonna sit down and order it, but it's not whenever I want unless I go to the store. But I would rather have it be on demand when I want it. But yes, the Retro DBA, I couldn't remember how I used to mispronounce your name because you had it all in lowercase. I think it was the Trodba. But now I see you did it properly, like a true programmer, and you put casing on your name, and you put Pascal casing. So now I know it's the Retro DBA. See, I almost couldn't pronounce it wrong. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. FX editor, yes, at that franchise. How's it going, man? Good to see you. Ricardo Eck. Hey, how's it going? Good to see you. Good afternoon, everyone. Hello. Lots of pleasantries. Let's see. First one, Dale Kurt. How's it going, Dale Kurt? Haven't seen you in a while. Dale Kurt recently brought a little one into the world. I say recently because to me it's kind of recently in my head. To him, he's probably like, my kid's like 6 months old now. No, anyways, how's it going, Dale Kurt? Good to see you. Setting up Home Assistant. Awesome. Yeah, Home Assistant. Down the rabbit hole you go, because I think you can make a career out of configuring Home Assistant. Not due to its complexity. I mean, there's that too, but just due to how many devices it supports. I mean, it supports every device. If you can think it, someone's figured out how to hack and sniff those network packets and configured the thing. And if they haven't figured it out, they figured out a way to put an open source firmware on it so they can do whatever they want. So awesome product, awesome community. And man, what a great way to spend I guess the next 20 years of your life is configuring Home Assistant. No, I kid. So yeah, no, it sounds like a perfect weekend project when it's, distraction free minus, whatever else is going on. But being able to focus on it sounds awesome. Oh, and teaching yourself some Python and Golang. I see that. I see that on Twitter, man. Well, good to see you. Oh, there we go. All while raising a newborn. All right, you said newborn, so I could say just recently brought a little one in. I knew it, man. I knew it. Hope you're doing well. Congrats again on being a dad. I told you on Twitter, but yeah, congrats again, man. Good to see you. Let's see. What's up, Virtual Alex? How's it going? Good to see you. Psycho Sasquatch. VLANs. Yeah. Yeah. VLANs. Yes. All of them. Let's see. Hazmat guy, starting a new security camera server. Awesome. Curious what you're using. I know that there's the Blue Iris camp, which I was a Blue Iris camp for a long time. Hey, Tweak MDS. Hey, has subscribed Prime. Thank you so much. Tweak MDS. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Prime sub. Thank you. Welcome. Thank you. But yeah, starting a security camera server. I almost said scanner. I was like, oh, that is sounding kind of awesome. Anyways, security cameras. I'm curious. Is it Blue Iris? Are you in the Blue Iris camp, or are you in the I'm going to do container and use frigate or frigate? I'm going to say frigate because it's a bird. Are you going to use frigate and do it the container way? Either in Docker or Kubernetes or non-container way. I think they support, just a normal install too. Or are you going to do it? Hey, Omerk, thank you so much. Prime. Whoa, Bill Nash. What's up, nerds? They're rolling in. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Bill Nash has resubbed tier 1 13 months, dude. Thank you so much. 13, 1 year, 1 month. Thanks so much, man. Sup, nerds? I always get the sup, nerds from Bill Nash. Love it. No matter where he appears, sup, nerds is what we get. And I salute the sup, nerds. So thanks, dude. Appreciate it. Omerk. I'm going with Omerk. Omer K20. That's what I'm going with. Hey, resub. Prime. 3 months. Thank you so much. I want to say Omerk, but I'm going to go with Omer K20. Anyways, thank you so much. Appreciate it. And Mezzy Ounce. I got to get this right. I'm going with Mezzy Youssef. Thank you so much for the follow. Appreciate it. Welcome. So yeah, so security camera server sounds awesome. Sounds like a great project. Like I said, you're either going to be in the Windows camp with Blue Iris, you're going to be in the open source camp with containers, or you're going to be in the some vendor stuff. I'll lump that all into one. All good options. But sounds awesome. I keep wanting to try Frigate, even though I don't even want to say it, even though I have a camera security system from a vendor that people that polarizes people. That was the one I was going to hop into because I was a Blue Iris user for a long time. Like I paid for it for, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 years, maybe longer. I've been doing it since like I said, I used to live in an apartment and I hooked a webcam up to it, and that was my first security system, and I used Blue Iris for it. It was awesome. Anyways, huge fan, but there's so many options now. But sounds awesome. Let me know what you're using and how many cameras, what resolution, where is it going to be saving it, what's your storage backend look like for that? All interesting stuff to me for sure. Lesser Train, woot, happy to be here. Trying to figure out how to limit the growth of my wall in a K3S cluster. Hopefully nothing else goes down as I fly by the seat of my pants. The growth of my wall. So I assume you mean like your wall files that get sent. I'm making a lot of assumptions now, but I assume you mean. So I'm gonna assume you're using Postgres, maybe, and then 2, I'm gonna assume that you mean the wall files that get sent to Minio. Is S3 storage, basically for disaster recovery and for backups. And yes, a lot of assumptions there. I know what you mean. I have the same thing too. I got a Postgres database. It just grows. I think it's because of the wall files, but it's also sending that stuff to S3. But I don't know. I just plan accordingly. The Postgres, I think that's what you're talking about. Database that you might be using as well is pretty awesome, especially for disaster recovery, because it can recover every single transaction using that wall file log. So I think that's what you mean. But it's storage in general. It's always growing, especially when it comes to logging or restoration or anything like that you need transactional logs to replay something. It grows. I mean, every single transaction is going to create something. Let's see, Alpha Computer, setting up TrueNAS to utilize my second backup for all my computers in the house, and as well as a centralized storage for my VMs and Proxmox cluster for easier high availability VMs such as Pi-hole. Okay, so cool. So setting up TrueNAS for a second backup for all of my computers. What's your first backup? I like this. Second backup is TrueNAS. That's my first and kind of only backup. So I like this. As well as centralized storage for my VMs. Yeah, so you're going to use that too. Easier high availability VMs such as Pi-hole. Awesome. Alpha Computing. That sounds Alpha Computer. That sounds like a weekend to me. TrueNAS, getting a NAS up. Yeah, second backup, and then getting centralized storage for your VMs. Pretty awesome. Yeah, that sounds awesome. ZVSD, what's up? Techno Tim, yup, that's right. I bought another server, LOL. You are starting to become like storage, like or server like warehouse. I just imagine now that you at least have 2 racks now, because every time we talk, it's well, then again, you're always wheeling and dealing servers, so you could be just like upgrading, just trading, selling, buying, and then upgrading. But I'm betting you have more than the last time I talked to you, which I think the last time I talked to you had 2 or 3. But awesome, man. Yeah, what is it now? I'm betting another Dell server. I'm betting it's a 730, but it could be wrong. Twisted Grim, setting up backups for Proxmox in my NAS, never a bad thing. Yeah, I agree. Grabbing a drink. Yeah, I totally agree. Setting up backups for Proxmox to your NAS, never a bad thing. Yeah, I do too. And I'm pretty I don't know, lax about backups for VMs. Like I used to, and I still do. Try to back up that critical data on that VM. And for a long time, that's all I did. I wrote a bunch of shell scripts or whatever. Empirix, thanks for follow, appreciate it. I wrote a bunch of shell scripts or used whatever to scrape the data off and then store that somewhere. So I always had like the minimal amount of data I needed to restore that VM, which was running a service, most likely. And so then I was like, man, that's a lot, that's a lot of work for very little payoff. And so once I got my NAS and everything and I had like tons of storage, I ended up backing up all my VMs, even though like some of my VMs, they're almost not restorable. Like some of my K3S nodes, like it would make 0 sense for me to restore this K3S node, rather than just build another one really quick and rejoin it to the cluster. But I do, because then I was like, okay, I got to be consistent. Like consistency is key with a lot of stuff. And I didn't want to pick and choose which VMs I'm going to start backing up because I didn't want to accidentally choose the wrong one. So I just said, all's easier. Takes 0 brain power for me. Picking and choosing which one, depending on what it's doing, takes brain power. And I'm all for not using brain power if you don't have to. Ask anyone that I know. But consistency helps me do that. Anyways, and then with my backup schedule, what I typically do, I think I back up once or twice a week. I don't even do it every day because again, I'm like a lot of my stuff is just dumb nodes that are running, K3S or Kubernetes, and all that stuff is stored in GitOps or in storage, and I'm just kind of like 2-3 times a week is pretty okay. I just got 10 gig networking on all of my servers now, so my backup should happen a little bit faster now. So I'm kind of excited about that. But I noticed with backups in Proxmox, I thought like, I tested it. I have 10 gig and I could transfer, I did an iPerf test. But what I realized in doing that was like, okay, even though I can get an iPerf test and I can prove that I can transfer 10 gig, there's so many factors to that. There's, can TrueNAS accept that much data at once? But what I've been finding is the real limiting factor is if you compress that backup, you're limited by the CPU of the machine that you're on that needs to compress it. So I was I don't know. I need to do a little bit more testing, or I could turn compression off, but I kind of don't want to do that. So who knows? But anyways, I noticed that you know, it wasn't as fast as I thought it was going to be for backups. At least with Proxmox, you know, because it'll compress it if I have compression turned on. So that's probably my problem. Just turn compression off. Twisted Grim, let's see. Wow, ZVSD, how much you now? Yeah, a lot. Yeah, for sure. A lot. Over 1 terabyte DDR4. Oh my gosh, man. You got me beat. You got me beat. Well, do you? Yeah. Yeah, because my servers, I have 3/4 of a terabyte. I have 3, each with 256. Then if I start counting like my PC here, you know, it has 32. My Intel NUCs have 64 each, but you still got me beat. Man, that is awesome, man. That's awesome. But server-wise, yeah, because my other server's DDR3. Yeah, you totally got me beat, man. 1 terabyte of DDR4. That's some moolah. That's some money, man. USR Gabriel, how's it going? Good to see you. Good to see you. Let's see. Xavier's D, 64 terabyte SSD, 500 gigabyte Optane, 8 terabyte NVMe, and about 1 PM of spinner. Not up to Yocto standards yet, though. Yeah, totally. Yocto. YWS. I keep calling him YWS. Yeah, he's definitely, he's like data center level. Let's see, RyMiFi, real quick, Winding Duchess. Hey, thanks for following. Appreciate it. Welcome. RyMiFi, Tim, do you use a Raspberry Pi as a Kubernetes node or a Docker host? Oh, good question. Neither. Actually, neither right now. I had to think through it because my Raspberry Pis have taken on many roles. And I have 4 or 5 Raspberry Pis, and won't count my CM4s that are in my Turing Pi. But anyways, those will run Kubernetes someday. But right now, neither. My one Raspberry Pi back there is doing my LED screen. My Pi Zero is my ultimate failover of Pi-hole, and that's not using Docker. My Pi 3B is doing, it was doing a lot more. So for a while, it was doing Docker, and it wasn't doing Kubernetes because I had some problems with the Rancher agent being not supporting ARM. Anyways, long story. But it was running Docker for a while, and that was my failover proxy and failover DNS. But I kind of split that out. So now that Raspberry Pi's role is only NUT server to monitor all of my UPSs. I had to think because I did have one container on there for a long time. But now, no, neither. So I'm just full on bare metal on all of these and not using even a containerization for any of them. Not even that one. So yeah, went back to bare metal for all my Pis. I mean, not that I was virtualizing anyways, but I was using containers like everywhere in my Pis. I would love it if I could, if I could find a little bit easier way to do some container stuff with my Pis. But they're, outside of like testing or super small things, it's tough. It's tough, even though they are pretty powerful for what they are. As soon as you throw Kubernetes into the mix, it's going to throw all these shared containers on, every node that every node needs in order to run Kubernetes, and that eats up cycles really quick. So I do have plans to add more Kubernetes nodes in the future. Just not, I don't have it yet. But no, good question. I'm not doing Docker anymore on any of those Pis, though, to answer your other question. Penetrator. Hello from the UK. Hey, how's it going? Good to see you. North Pole Nate. You got some... Oh, thanks, buddy. Let's see. Conda Zero. Upgrading RDS engine. Nice. So RDS engine upgrading? Yeah, okay. What is RDS? I need to figure out what the... I can't remember what RDS stands for again. It's like totally like boggling my mind. When I remember, I will come back to this, but I hope it goes well. Just case Kaiser Sose. Oh, I like it. Just Kaiser Sose. Oh, it's Kaiser Sose. Greetings from Houston. How's it going? Good to see you. Let's see. USR Dev, Techno Tim. Oh, hi. Going through your tutorial with Traffic Cert Manager, seems like Nginx is getting the default cert from Traffic. Hard refresh shows that Nginx default page, but again, verify the cert, staging, and production both. USR dev, user dev. What I would, so there's a couple of things. I think if you go to my documentation page, some people have mentioned that there might be an additional like annotation you need to add now for Cloudflare. That is basically a delay to wait a couple of seconds before trying something. I didn't update my documentation because I haven't had to update any of that because mine still works. But if you can look at those comments that are right below in the documentation, and I think someone said to add these annotations or these attributes to your YAML. Anyways, if that's not it, so for me, if you're only seeing, let me see. So if you're seeing the one from traffic, obviously it's not working or something's going on. It could be a couple things. So if it's not the thing I mentioned earlier, it could be that DNS isn't set appropriately because it has to verify DNS. Could be your token is wrong. Your token that you're using for Cloudflare or whatever you're using for DNS to authorize or to create that text record on your DNS, on public DNS, can't create it. So it's failing. So you never get a certificate from Cloudflare, wherever you're getting your certs from, or validating your certificates. Anyways, so what I would do in that scenario, I would look at the logs. So do pod logs on Cert Manager for one of the pods, and look at the pod logs. I guarantee it's going to be in there, whatever's going on. It's going to be like a light bulb moment as soon as you do it. So it'd be like kube control, I think kube control pod or logs pod and the pod ID. And you might have multiple, so you might have to do it to multiple, but you'll see it. It'll be in there. Like that's one thing that's nice about most Kubernetes stuff. They're pretty good about logging stuff out to standard out or standard error. And so that one would probably be to standard error, and you'll probably see it in there. So let me know if not, but pod log, logging out those or getting the pod logs is going to save you because it's going to tell you exactly what's going on. It's one of those. Let's see. Crack Kitty. Hope everyone's good. Hey, yeah, everyone is good. Yeah, I am for sure. PF Sense, that's what you're working on. Good day, all. Yakto, got my replacement 7900 got my replacement 7900 XT GPU back. So finally taking a break from ZWS today and fixing my gaming rig. Awesome. Yeah. Yeah, that sounds fun. I wish I could call my computer a gaming rig. It used to be. Now it's in everything, like all of this rig along with streaming and stuff too. But sounds awesome. What game are you gonna play? That's what I'm curious about. Once you get it all back and working, let me know. Penetrator, I think it's just because it doesn't have a broad-based appeal. No, I totally get it. And I'm not talking about like stat-wise. I just, no, I totally get it. I was just razzing. For me, sometimes it's like, okay, I can not like a product, but still like the content, but people voted by product. So it's totally fine. That's exactly what it's there for. But thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you for the insight. Funny how I was going to do that today, and I saw you posted it was that. And it was the exact same thing I was going to go do. Awesome. Well, I hope it helps. I tried to break it down, in small chunks and at the same time not be 15 hours long because I could easily have made that, a 4-hour video easily because of how much is going on. And I had to really just kind of boil it down to, what are people trying to do? How do you do it once? And then you can repeat it if necessary. So yeah, for sure. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. I got that. Mr. Woot, working on running my MikroTik CHR as a VM under KVM, providing networking for other VMs. Woo! Okay, let's break this down. So MikroTik CHR as a VM, so I assume that's some kind of SDR or some kind of application for MikroTik devices, and you want to run it as a virtual machine under KVM, providing networking for other VMs. Ooh, okay. So I don't know what CHR is. I thought maybe it was like a kind of an SDN or a network application to configure those devices, but now it's starting to sound more like a virtual network application or a virtual, to do networking that you could use for other things. So sounds awesome. Let me know how that works out. I need to look it up. Oh, here we go, Mr. Woot. Oh yeah, okay. CHR equals. I like it. I like you put it on the sub. Thank you. You're like, I know how I can get his attention. Mr. Root resub tier 1, 9 months, 9-month streak. CHR is cloud hosted router. Whoa, that is, now it's really blowing my mind because you want to run the cloud hosted router under KVM, so as a virtual machine for networking with other VMs. That sounds awesome. That sounds awesome for sure. So good luck with that. Let me know how that works out. Is it free and open source, or do you got to pay for it? Or is it a service? I was going to say, is it a SaaS? But it's not a SaaS if you're able to run it on KVM. I'm assuming it is kind of open source or something. But sounds awesome. Sounds awesome for sure. Dude, thank you. Thank you so much for the resub. Appreciate it. Virtual Alex, UniFi, USG, XG8, exclamation points. Awesome. Well, I don't know anything about the USGs. I mean, I got into the game when it was, UDM. So, but I know a lot of people swear by those too. Dale Kurt. Yes, it really did help me. I've been working through resolving some firewall bugs I created with my VLANs on my UDM Pro. Awesome. I have some firewall bugs too that I realized after that video when I was editing. I'm like, no, that's I should fix that. So, yeah, it's. I mean, I've said this before, but I really feel like this is why I should have at some point do Terraform with my firewall, because with Terraform it's really easy to look at my config, my Terraform DSL, and say, hey, this looks out of place, versus like digging 15 levels deep in the UI and realizing something looks out of place. And find all and replace works, in Terraform lang. So anyways, that might come, but who knows? I would love to do it, but again, it's like, it's super polarizing, but if it's a project I'm doing, I'm still going to do it. So we'll see. But yeah, awesome. Glad it helped. Xavius, Yocto, why did you get it replaced? What happened? Oh, with your A400? Oh no, the video card. Let's see. I just installed Cacti. Wow, it's a must-have on Proxmox. That is a blast from the past. Cacti. So I remember Cacti. So Cacti is a RRD router. I don't know. It's basically a graphing monitoring tool. And so Cacti got really famous, not famous, but kind of blew up after Nagios, because Nagios was doing a ton of monitoring. Like, people would pair them together. I remember. It was like, we'll do Nagios for monitoring and alerting, and we'll do Cacti for, graphing and charting stuff. So, wow, pretty awesome. I'll have to check that out. I used it for a long time, so I haven't heard that word. I mean, I've heard Cacti, the word Cacti, but not the product. I haven't heard that product name in, I don't know, 10, 15 years. So I'll have to see. I'll have to see how it's evolved, if at all. But it was good back then. Good and fast. Sigor, how's it going? Good to see you. Hey. Let's see. Psycho Sasquatch. I would love to know how to get network back into my other devices. Not sure what documentation to look at. I would love to know how to get network back into my other devices. I'm not sure what you're looking for. I'm not sure what you're looking for. I think you mean maybe port forwarding. Maybe port forwarding. I'm just guessing. But if it's port forwarding, yeah, I would search. And you're talking about UniFi, which I think you are. I would search that the settings for port forwarding, and then it will give you a bunch of options there. But yeah, fill me in on what you're looking for exactly. MKTBS started seeing some read-only file system errors on Proxmox VMs. Been using a hardware RAID card for dual 1 terabyte SSDs and recently moved to a single NVMe. Pretty sure I should be using ZFS with the direct attached SSD rather than the hardware RAID for Proxmox. Yeah. I mean, is it the end of the world? No. But you're going to get a lot of benefits out of ZFS, more than just like saying you're using ZFS. You're going to get faster snapshots. You're going to get data integrity, you're going to get better checks, protected against bit rot, and it's fast. And so there are a lot of benefits to doing it. So I mean, I personally, I had a RAID card for a while, and I was just like, no, I want to use this RAID card. I have it. But I learned to let go. I learned to let go and went with software RAID with ZFS. So if anything supports ZFS, I mean, it's kind of nice. It's kind of liberating, I will say. Once you let go of that RAID card, if you have a system that supports ZFS, it's kind of like, oh, I don't have to do any of that stuff anymore. I don't have to figure out RAID 5, and well, you got to figure out a new RAID leveling, but you don't have to worry about RAID configs and this BIOS to configure RAID and all of this stuff. Yes, it's going to be done in software now, but it's super nice, and it's kind of portable too. Like, you don't have to worry about your RAID config, that you had being stored on the RAID adapter, with a battery that's hopefully always on that keeps that config. With ZFS, I think it's stored in the array, so you can move that array to another, another system like I did between two servers and import it, and it works. So, but yeah, there's tons of benefits. I'm probably not doing it justice, but that's what I've seen in my experience. So yeah, if you can do software RAID ZFS, especially in Proxmox, I would do it. Like your backups and snapshots are going to be so blazing fast in general that I would do it. And plus, there are benefits with caching and all that stuff too. But yeah, for sure. Let's see. I'm gonna hop over some of these. Rand MC. I'm learning about virtual machines and Virt Manager. Have to get QEMU to work in Manjaro Linux in order to connect. Cool. So, RandMC, I'm learning about, virtual machines and Virt Manager. Cool. I haven't done a ton with Virt Manager. I know it's yet another way to manage KVM machines, but it looks pretty awesome. Looks pretty simple and not in a bad way, but, pretty straightforward. But yeah, awesome. Awesome. Let me know how it goes. But you need to get QEMU to work on Manjaro Linux in order to connect. Yeah. Well, I wish I could help there. Xavier D, my 3 monitors I bought refurbished. One has backlight issues. They are refunding it under warranty because they can't find a similar priced replacement. Nice. It's funny you say 3 monitors. I've been going back and forth on 3 monitors versus one big one. I would love to figure this out. As you know, or may not know, I do have 3 big monitors. I mean, I have 3 1440p monitors that you can't really see. I should hold up a mirror. And I have 2 in portrait and 1 in landscape here. And I keep thinking to myself, I was even saying to my wife last night, and she's probably like, what are you talking about? I was saying to her, I was like, I think I might get 1 big monitor versus 3, but I'm so on the fence about it. And it's mainly because cable management. Like right now, I have to have, HDMI in here, plus power in this one, plus DVI in the same DisplayPort, on all 3, because I connected to 2 systems. Now I know I can't really. Well, I might be able to get away with that if I went to something that had USB-C. But at the end of the day, even if so right now I have 9 cables. 9 cables for these 3 monitors, and in the future I might be able to get to maybe 3, minimally, at the most, if I still had to split it out to my Mac and Windows system. But I could even go USB-C with something and then just toggle it, and I would be down to 1 plus power, so 2. So anyways, I'm trying to might be simplifying some stuff. I'm still like noodling on this whole idea of like, what does my next PC build look like? What does my next monitor setup look like? But I love these monitors though. Anyways, I love these monitors. I've had these monitors for years. They were a recommendation from Craft Computing a while ago, and these BenQ monitors, I love them, especially the eye care stuff where it automatically changes the color and the lighting according to the light in the room. I love it. Anyways, I'll stop talking about monitors. It's just something I've been noodling on in the back of my head. iSofas, hey, how's it going? Let's see. Let's get in here. Let me see. iSofas, man, I tried using Linux and no distros let me install the drivers for my Wi-Fi USB card. LOL. That's tough. I mean, that used to be more of the case with Linux distributions. It was just kind of like, it may vary, but they've come a long way. So I'm super surprised. I mean, you could try, I'm sure you probably tried Ubuntu, but that seems to be super consumer friendly as far as drivers go. well, I don't know what type of machine you're trying it on. If it's ARM or x86, I'm assuming it's x86. But if it's ARM based, like a Pi, I would say though sometimes that you'll find that Pi OS has drivers sooner than other distributions because those are purpose built. There's a huge community around them and a lot of support for it. So your mileage may vary. But if you haven't tried Ubuntu, try it on x86. I'm sure you have because that's an easy choice for some people. And then if it's ARM and you've been trying Ubuntu and other things, try Pi OS. But that's also an easy choice for most people. So I'm probably telling you stuff that you already know. So. Rand donated fancy large monitor with split screen feature to a college who needed the multi HDMI ports to use for computing. Awesome. Yeah, that's awesome. That is super nice of you to do that. Yeah, maybe I'll donate mine. I'm still on the fence if what I'm gonna do. But awesome, fancy large monitor split screen feature. I kind of want that though. But no, super nice of you to donate it, especially to a college who's probably doesn't have a lot of funds to do stuff, in that department. So yeah, awesome, Rand. Let's see. Luenta, Tim, just set up OKD on Proxmox. I can't show emojis up here, but awesome. Set up OKD on Proxmox. All right, let's go. How's it running? You liking it? Trevor, VMs are running on TrueNAS. All right, man, you're doing some virtualization on TrueNAS. All right, I like it. Takano, been trying to run the laser engraving business and had my first vendor event last weekend. Nice, man, nice. I remember you said was it a couple weeks ago, I think, maybe a couple months, but you sold something cross country that you laser engraved, and so yeah, pretty awesome, man. So your first vendor event, I bet that was exciting. To have a hobby, and maybe do that hobby by yourself, and then maybe sell some stuff online. But it's all virtual. But then to go to an event that's all about it, I bet you were ecstatic. So yeah, happy for you, man. Let's see where this goes. Dr. Cuddle, how's it going? Streamer Room Bonanza Party. Lots of pretty colors. Yeah, Streamer Room Bonanza Party. How's it going, Dr. Cuddle? Yeah, the Streamer Room, lots of colors going on. And you can change them if you want. If you look below, you get channel points. And you can spend them and change them to any color you want or even turn them off. Awesome. This is my favorite, though. But yeah, someone's going to change it, though. I won't tell. Actually, I won't pick favorites, so you have to guess. This is definitely not my favorite, though. Light mode is not my favorite, for sure. Let's see. Cyber Knight got home. Homelab purring along nicely. I don't know why I'm speaking with a southern accent, but I am. Now working on some microservice development. Awesome. Development. Awesome. So Homelab's running. Now working on some microservices. I love it. That's just like, that's why my Homelab exists, is so I can use it as kind of my dev kind of prod environment to write some code and deploy it to. So it's super fun. Yeah, nice. Now you got end-to-end. Maybe I'll have GitOps, maybe I have CI/CD, and you can just build and deploy your code out to your environment, whatever that may be. So pretty awesome. Awesome. That sounds fun. Now you can go real fast. Retro DBA. Well, hello there, people. Nice. How's it going? Retro DBA, the Trodba, aka the Trodba. Chicano started getting a website up and running, getting all of the social media set up as well. Awesome. The Trona, the Trodba. Yeah. C Diablo. Am getting fish. Congratulations. I think you mean, yeah, you to eat, or a pet, or fishing as in PH, like an email. No, I don't know. Congratulations, unless it's fishing with a PH. Let's see. Tweak MDS working on a lot of things right now, but the most interesting is a homelab Kate setup using Talos with storage on Synology. Awesome. Yeah, I hear lots of good things about Talos. I feel like I need to use it. So Talos is a purpose-built. I'm using that. It's a new buzzword for me. Talos is a purpose-built, hardened operating system that only runs Kubernetes, and I think it's immutable too. And throw in like 15 other buzzwords, but it really is awesome. And they're not just buzzwords. So it seems really awesome. They're basically building, a K3S distribution that's kind of an operating system, not kind of, but is, that's like an appliance. So yeah, pretty awesome. Pretty awesome. I need to check it out. But yeah, I hear lots of good things about it. It's kind of under the radar unless you're like into Kubernetes. Then you're like, yeah, Talos, this is like the next best thing, for sure. But which I should be tapped into that a bit more. But awesome. Tweet MDS, you'll have to let me know, like, what challenges are you facing? The only challenges that I've heard, that you probably have heard too, is I think because it's immutable. Maybe it's immutable. Maybe you can mutate it. I don't know. Like driver support, or like getting other things installed. Like maybe you have agents or whatever, or things you need to install on the OS is either hard or impossible. I don't know. You tell me. But it sounds awesome either way. I'm going with C-Torvi. C-Torvi. First time watching you on Twitch. Love your videos, my guy. All right. Thank you. Greetings from Switzerland. Oh, yeah. Thank you. I appreciate it. Well, welcome to be here. Welcome. Glad you're here. I kind of combined those two. Let's see. Tweak MDS. For anyone with a home lab, like Proxmox. Oh, yeah. I just said that. But yeah, I totally agree. It's very interesting. I'll definitely have to check it out some more. MKTBS. Also, you inspired me to get GitLab Runner on-prem at home, and I've moved all of my Ansible playbooks to Git and run them via pipelines on my network. Awesome. That is awesome. Isn't it fun? Isn't it fun once you have like CI and CD and you have a Git repo and you can like commit that code or infrastructure and push it up into there and just say, yep, I'm done, and let your CI pipeline go out and deploy and make those changes. It's super fun. I haven't done it with Ansible yet. I haven't. I still run my Ansible commands locally. I'm too old school. No, but I have them all in Git. I just need to set up my pipeline for Ansible. But I'm kind of like, what do you do in the scenario when you want to run updates? Do you just re-trigger that build and run it? Like, these are things I haven't had to do yet. In my mind, I totally get it. But like, say I want to run, Ansible, run my apt upgrade on these hosts or this host INI. Do I just, I'm not going to commit empty code to push that up to run again. So do I just create a manual task in GitLab and then I have my button there? Like, those are the things I haven't figured out yet, because I'm not like, I am mutating the state of my cluster. I am telling it like, here's the desired state, but the desired state isn't, the manifest for saying what my desired state isn't changing, if you know what I mean. So anyways, I can run GitLab with specific tasks to control what runs. Oh, nice. Yeah. I think that's what I'll do. I think I'll create a manual task in GitLab. So GitLab has this construct called a manual task. And once you set it up once, you can just kick it off arbitrarily anytime. And so then I won't have to like git commit anything. I can, on my updates tasks, I can just run that again. Obviously, like for my other tasks, like I have a standard Ansible playbook that I run against some of my machines, like to standardize them on my network. And so, yeah, if I add a new entry to the host file and commit that and push that up, then Ansible will, in my CI could run, and it'll, basically try to set the desired state of all the existing hosts plus the new host. But in a scenario like, hey, just go run apt upgrade on everything, I'm not changing any state. So yeah, I've always wondered about that. I'm sure there's, people have figured it out. That's something I just noodled on in the back of my head, and I never like went after it because I haven't done it yet. So anyways, long story short, awesome. I'm glad I inspired you to do something that I'm not even doing yet. So awesome. That is so awesome. Awesome. C Diablo, I just got a new Raspberry Pi 8 gig. Man, did you win the lottery or something? How'd you get this thing? Thinking of putting Kate's on it. Yeah, go for it. I would say go for it. I would say give it a shot and try it. And I'd say go for it. Like the best way to learn is by doing it. And I would say try it out. Try it out for sure. Absolutely. Cranky Sysadmin, how's it going, man? Good to see you. Good to see you here on Twitch. I was going to say on Twitter, because that's where I talk to you, is on Twitter. Hey, what's up? Saw your tweet. How you been? Hey, I'm good. I'm good. Sorry, I'm just getting to it. That was a while ago, so I apologize, but I'm good. I'm good. I can't complain. Things are good. Good to see you, cranky sysadmin. Let's see. Budney, I'm looking to go all SSD for my TrueNAS pools. Oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Plex file storage only. Don't need a lot of space. Just trying to lighten the weight of my machine for cleaning and maintenance. Wow, that's a new one. I just want to make it lighter, like physically lighter. I was thinking for sure. I was like, it's got to be speed. It's got to be performance. It's got to be, heat or electricity. Nah, just physical. I like it. I see it being done, but everyone's saying not to do it. Oh, interesting. All flash? I don't see a problem with all flash. I mean, I'm all flash in my Proxmox. I'm all flash everywhere. Yeah, except for my TrueNAS, which is why people are saying, I don't know, which is exactly what you're trying to do. But I'm not all flash because I don't want to. I would love to, but I'm all flash right now because, I need storage for my YouTube videos and everything and my backups. And, so I can't afford all flash drives that are as dense as like my 14 terabyte drives that are in there now. So anyways, I don't see a reason not to. I run consumer grade flash everywhere, even on ZFS, because if one dies, I'm just going to replace it, whatever. Yes, I might get some wear out, but a lot of that can be mitigated with, over provisioning and making sure that you don't fill up that drive up to a certain percentage. Anyways, all that aside, like I don't see any technical limitation as to why I wouldn't recommend that. I mean, people are selling all flash storage servers right now. They're not cheap. And they're probably going to use enterprise grade drives, but there isn't a technical, I think, limitation for that. And I don't know, could be wrong, but sign me up. I thought we'd be there already, to be honest. I feel like they're milking this whole, I don't know. I feel like they're milking SSDs as long as they can, as long as they possibly can. I feel like SSDs could have caught up and surpassed spinning rust by now. And this is just me being super naive and not understanding the full technology or what it goes into making those chips and fitting them on circuit boards. But I feel like we can do it. I feel like it's just getting milked. It's just getting milked. Like, hey, we're going to keep selling you this higher, denser, drive on spinning rust. And oh, by the way, we're slowly catching up on SSD size. So, and all that time, everyone's data is growing at the same time, so we're kind of all moving with the same window to where we're always stuck buying spinning rust. Anyways, I have nothing against it, but I would love all flash based storage if I could, everywhere, even in my NAS, if I could afford it, if it did exist and I had the money to do it, I would do it. Because for me personally, it wouldn't be weight. That's a nice side benefit. For me, it would be heat and electricity. That's it. And speed a little bit, but I'm always going to be bottlenecked by my network speed. So anyways, sounds awesome. I don't know if someone has a great reason not to do it. Yeah, let me know or throw it in our Discord server in our storage channel. We have a channel full of people who are expert in storage and would know a better answer than me. This is me as like a consumer. I feel like sometimes on the outside looking in, like, yes, I want that, but there might be a reason as to why people don't. So. Yeah, sounds awesome. The Untidy Tech. Yeah, me too. Hey, thanks for following. Appreciate it. Welcome. Let's see. Smitty Ventures. Wow, I finally caught you on stream. I just got a Dell PowerEdge R720 first real server. Can I change out the SAS and with SATA SSDs? It's going to be a Minecraft Plex server. Can I change that? Yeah, you can. Yeah, I think so. I think it should be fine. When I got my 710, it came with SAS drives. Pulled those things out and I put all SSDs in it. Speaking of all flash, that was when I got my 710. I did the same thing. That had a hardware RAID and times were different then. A whole 2 years ago or 3 years ago. But yeah, absolutely you can. I think it should be fine. Again, this is me not being a storage expert, but I ran it like that with the 710. I had zero problems. I think maybe it's trickier going the other way, but I think going from SAS to SATA is not as tricky as going from SATA to SAS. I could be wrong, because there are different types of SAS drives. Yeah. Omni ye lost. Hey, thanks for follow. Appreciate it. Bill Nash, security camera server for home. Use a Mac Mini. Put it on Linux. Small, reliable, lightly armored. I like it. Yeah, I love Mac Minis. We still have one at work that builds our app. It's one from 2012. It was the last one that you can actually swap out the RAM and SSD, and it's still going. It's still going. It is still going. But its days are definitely numbered now with Apple Silicon and OS updates and stuff like that. I honestly don't think we'll be able to build our app on that thing too much longer, but M1s, M2 are pretty cheap for build servers. Anyways, as you mentioned, throw Linux on it now. Yeah, absolutely. So that machine is going to find a great home now with Linux. So when it's no longer able to build our app, for sure. But yeah, lightly armored too. Yeah, it is. That aluminum is awesome, and it has built-in heatsink too. It's just one big heatsink to dissipate heat, for sure. Let's see. Hot take: flash for Plex is overkill. Go with hard drives. You don't need that kind of access. Yeah, for Plex speed. Yeah, good point. Good point. Yeah, like I was mentioning earlier, that hey, like I'm always going to be limited. My bottleneck for me is always going to be my network. Like I won't be able to push that much data to my NAS in order to take advantage of all those SSDs. So yeah, if you think you're going to get some increased throughput or something like that by using SSD over other things, I mean, most likely you're not, unless you're going to use it as like a SAS or use fiber channel and use it, for a storage array, which I don't think you are. I think you're just doing it because you want it to be lighter. But anyways, yeah, good point. Good point, Cranky Sysadmin. But yeah, for sure. Omer K20. I like your last video about VLANs. Could there be a VLAN video on Proxmox clusters, etc.? Hey, I kind of already did it. So yeah, good question. Like, hey, you were talking about VLANs. How do I set VLANs up on Proxmox? And I do. I have probably a 2-minute clip. If you look at my first 11 or 13 things I do on Proxmox, my list of all the things that I do, one of those steps is configuring the network card to be VLAN aware, so that I can listen for all those VLANs and then assign those VLANs to virtual machines within Proxmox. Yeah, that's how I've been doing it. I've been doing it for years that same way. And so I just had to reconfigure. I just did it again yesterday or 2 days ago when I put my 10 gig NICs in. I had to recreate a new bond, and I had to say, yes, you're VLAN aware, switch the IP, configure my switch port. So all of that is covered in there too. And it's like 2 minutes long. Yeah, and you can copy and paste my config from the docs. And that's exactly how I do it. That's exactly how my Proxmox runs. My 10 gig NIC is obviously installed in there. I create a bond or a bridge and a bond, and then I lag it, and then I make it VLAN aware. And then I assign the VLAN to the virtual machine, and I think it's in networking. There's like a tag input field, and for there you put in the VLAN tag. Like in your case or whatever, my case is 10, 20, 30, 40, or in the video's case, 100. But yeah, absolutely. It's awesome. I mean, that's how I run my VLANs. Not all of my virtual machines are on the same VLAN for the same reason that not all of my physical machines are on the same VLAN. I mean, I can take advantage of it there virtually too. Absolutely. That was the first place I think I took advantage of it. Because before I had a dedicated IoT network, I knew that VLANs was my solve to be able to host things publicly, securely. And so I was just like, okay, well, I'm not ready to redo my whole entire IoT network, but I am ready to create, this public untrusted network and assign it a VLAN because nothing's on there right now. And then once I did that, I configured Proxmox to be VLAN aware. And then once I configured my virtual machines and got my K3S or my Kubernetes cluster going, that's where they live. So I'm like, there you go. And so those were really the first devices on my non-flat network before I was able to totally move to a 100% segmented network. So my first segmented network was the untrusted network that my Kubernetes cluster now lives on. And I do that through Proxmox. Yeah, and and then I just grew from there. I'm like, okay, what's another use case for VLANs? It was IoT, and that was a big change for me, so I wasn't ready to do that. I actually did that one last, but I had trusted servers, so servers that I use internally that don't have public access coming in, that do, services for me internally. Now it's yet another Kubernetes cluster that does it. But at the time, it was either virtual machines or that's where my Plex lives. It's like, well, no, kind of. That one's confusing. That one's confusing. It's complicated with the Plex one. But anyways, yeah, absolutely works in Proxmox. Like I said, it's my first things I do on Proxmox. I can't remember what the title is, but you can copy and paste my config, change a couple of things like your network adapter names, and you should be good. Franchise, I've been pretty happy with my Reolink keys. Yeah. Raynal just recently did a video on those too, and he seems to be pretty happy with them too. Yeah, it sounds like a great product for sure. Let's see, Smitty Ventures, Crack Kitty. Short answer is yes. Long answer is go into chat in the Discord, and there are people there to help you. Yeah, I totally. That's my go-to. Yeah, you figured me out. Rec4M. Trying to integrate my Terraform with Unraid. Tricky. I bet it is. So you're trying to use Terraform to configure your Unraid. That sounds awesome. That sounds like a great use case for it. You're like, no more UI. I'm going GitOps and I'm automating this stuff. Pretty awesome. Oh yeah, RDS. Okay, we were talking about that. Okay, AWS makes RDS instances for that. So earlier RDS was mentioned, and now it just came to me, and I said, hey, if I remember later what RDS is, it's the relational database service for AWS. As soon as I saw those two together, I'm like, oh yeah, that RDS. You can tell I'm a GCP user quite a bit. I use Google Cloud quite a bit, but familiar with AWS. It's just not top of mind. So awesome. Well, hey, I know there are tons of comments. I love that there are tons of comments, but I do hate that I have to leave when there are tons of comments. So I'm sorry, but I do have to kind of wrap this up. I did go a little bit over what I said was going to go, and we got to do a dinner thing here in a little bit. And kids have bedtimes. Not our kids, but other kids have bedtimes, so we got to be on time so they can leave on time so they can get in bed in time. So anyways, if you have kids or friends with kids, you know how that goes. But anyways, hey, thank you guys so much for being here. There was tons of chat, which is my number one thing. Like, I love this chat. I wish I had time to go through it all. I honestly do, and that's not lip service because I love talking about this stuff. If you wanna chat some more, you didn't get your question answered, or you want to have an answer directly from me, feel free to join our Discord server. We have a Discord server. It's got over 8,000 people now. You can use !Discord and you'll get the invite. If you forget and later on you want to join, it's just discord.gg/TechnoTim, or just go into Discord and search their whole universe for TechnoTim. You'll probably find our Discord server, where we have lots of channels where we talk about lots of stuff, and they're kind of bucketed up. And if you put it in the wrong place, man, he's going to be all over you. He gets all over me sometimes too. Kidding, not really. But anyways, yeah, we have a great team, great mods of people who care about the community, who keep it clean, and also contribute quite a bit. And we have lots of people who are passionate about this type of stuff. So anyways, join. I'd love for you to join. You don't even have to say a word. There's lots of lurking going on, and there's tons of stuff that I learned in there all day, every day. But there was also bits. I appreciate the bits. I appreciate the subs, the resubs. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate it. And yeah, so if you have any other questions, feel free to ping me in Discord. I don't mind if you ping me, as long as it's not like, at Tim, over and over and over. Like, I don't care about pings. I get pinged everywhere. So feel free to ping me. Just don't blow me up if I don't respond in the next 5 minutes. But feel free to ping me anywhere, here, Twitter, whatever. And I will be back next Saturday here on Twitch, and I hope to have something out for you. The next thing I'm working on is a little bit complicated, but I feel like I could probably say that about every video that I have. So anyways, real quick, hi Zor, thanks for follow, appreciate it, welcome. Hey y'all, have a great rest of the weekend, and be good to each other. Take care, folks.